Welcome to Clinical Data Management. Clinical Data Management, or CDM, is the department responsible for capturing, cleaning, and securing clinical trial data to ensure database integrity. The primary objective of CDM is to deliver a complete, high-quality, and analysis-ready database that biostatisticians can use to evaluate study endpoints. Data managers design data collection forms, program validation checks, monitor data entry compliance, and resolve queries. This work requires close collaboration with clinical operations, clinical research, and medical writing. CDM professionals follow good clinical data management practices and conform to standards like DISC to ensure data consistency and regulatory compliance. Throughout this lecture, we will explore the database design, data cleaning, coding, and lock workflows. Case report form design and database build represent the foundational milestones in the study startup phase of clinical data management. Data managers design eCRFs in the electronic data capture system based on the protocol-specified endpoints and assessments. This process involves translating protocol requirements into clear, user-friendly data entry screens for clinical site staff. Concurrently, data managers program edit checks and data validation rules to detect entry errors at the point of entry. The database undergoes rigorous user acceptance testing to verify that entry screens, routing logic, and system queries function correctly before the study is launched. Establishing a high-quality database build prevents data entry errors and streamlines subsequent data cleaning activities. Electronic data capture systems are the digital platforms used by clinical sites to enter and manage clinical trial data. Modern EDC systems support secure user access controls, complex data entry validations, and automated audit trails. The system audit trail must record the identity of the user, the date and time of the entry, and both the old and new data values for any modifications. Under FDA 21 CFR Part 11 regulations, EDC systems must be validated to ensure data security, system reliability, and compliance with electronic signature standards. Clinical operations and data management teams manage user training and access permissions, ensuring that only delegated site staff can enter or modify data in the system. Data cleaning represents the ongoing process of identifying and resolving data discrepancies, missing values, and logical inconsistencies in the clinical database. Data managers utilize automated edit checks and manual data listings to detect anomalies, such as out-of-range laboratory values or inconsistent visit dates. When a discrepancy is identified, the data manager issues a query within the EDC system, flagging the data point for site review. The clinical site staff review the query, cross-reference their source documentation, and enter a correction or clarification. The data manager then reviews the site's response and closes the query. Maintaining a clean database is essential for protecting data quality and preparing for database lock. Medical coding is a specialized clinical data management process that standardizes verbatim medical terms reported in case report forms into consistent, industry-standard terminologies. Verbatim descriptions of adverse events, medical histories, and concomitant medications are coded using standardized dictionaries. Adverse events and medical histories are coded using the Medical Dictionary for Regulatory Activities hierarchy, which groups terms from lowest-level terms to system organ classes. Concomitant medications are coded using the WHO Drug Global Dictionary, which categorizes drugs based on their active ingredients and therapeutic classifications. Standardizing these terms allows biostatisticians to perform aggregate safety analyses and ensures that regulatory submissions utilize consistent terminology across clinical trials. External data integration involves importing and reconciling data from external sources, such as central laboratories, imaging vendors, and electronic clinical outcome assessment platforms. External datasets are received in standardized file formats and loaded into the clinical database. Data managers perform data reconciliation to verify that the external records match the subject demographic data in the EDC system. For example, they check that laboratory sample dates match the corresponding clinical visit dates, and that the patient IDs are consistent. Any discrepancies found during this reconciliation must be investigated and resolved with the vendor or the site. Integrating these diverse datasets provides a complete and unified record of all clinical trial endpoints. Database lock represents the critical operational milestone that seals the clinical database and prevents further modifications, allowing data extraction for statistical analysis. Before locking the database, data managers must complete all data cleaning, reconcile all external datasets, and resolve all outstanding queries. The study team conducts blind data reviews, checks for protocol deviations, and confirms that all medical coding is complete. Once all quality control checks are satisfied, the database lock is approved by the sponsor's clinical data manager, biostatistician, and study manager. Locking the database protects the scientific validity of the trial data, preventing bias and ensuring that the statistical analysis is based on a clean, final dataset. Data privacy and security represent critical compliance requirements in clinical data management, protecting patient confidentiality and securing trial data. Under global regulations like the General Data Protection Regulation and the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, clinical trials must implement strict data protection measures. Patient data entered into the EDC must be pseudonymized, utilizing unique subject identification codes instead of direct identifiers like names or social security numbers. Access to the clinical database is controlled through secure user authentication and role-based permissions. Sponsors conduct regular security audits and system validations to prevent unauthorized data access, maintaining patient privacy and satisfying the strict confidentiality requirements of global health authorities.